Welcome to News 9. I'm Varghese. First up, a snake caused panic at Mandya Medical College early this morning. A cobra was spotted hiding in a shoe which was left at the parking space of the college. The students and the patients ran helter-skelter when they spotted the snake. But it was one of them who called a snake charmer. After a while of mayhem, the snake was finally caught. It was later released in the wild. The people have been complaining that snakes are straying into the campus regularly and demanded that something be done to ensure this doesn't happen again. Well, the students of Mandya were in for a shock when they saw a cobra coiled itself up inside a shoe. It is a normal cobra that was sighted at Mandya's Medical College early this morning. It was found hiding inside a shoe. Well, after the panicked students called a snake charmer, it took time for the snake charmer to in fact pull the snake out of the shoe and put it into a sack. Later it was released into the wild. The students as well as the patients have been complaining about snakes straying into the campus of the Mandya Medical College. The snake found itself coiled inside a shoe and they had to call a snake charmer to pull it out. The snake charmer prodded the snake and first initially tried to pull it out of the shoe. Once the snake was out of the shoe, the snake charmer cornered it and was able to drag it inside a sack, which he tied up immediately once the snake was put into it. These are the visuals of how he went about his work, where he tried to prod the snake first and tried to bring it inside a sack. The snake charmer tried hard to in fact push it inside the sack. Once the snake was inside the sack, he tied up the sack and later it was released into the wild. Many students have been complaining in Mandya Medical College with regards to wild animals entering the campus. On several other occasions too, cobras have entered the campus, creating mayhem inside the medical college. It took one of the students to call the snake charmer to come, and in fact, it took some time for the snake charmer to get hold of the snake and put it into a sack. There could be further trouble in store for N. Srinivasan today. The Cricket Association of Bihar will seek a bar on Srinivasan representing the board at the ICC and will even look at taking the legal fight on that front outside India. The two-judge Supreme Court bench will resume the hearing of IPL fixing and betting scandal. It is expected that the Mudgal committee will take over the probe after the hearing today. In that case, the committee will be assisted by a team of investigators. The bench in its last hearing had said it would empower such a team with all police powers. the ICC has deemed it an internal matter of the BCCI. It is essentially looking to the Supreme Court for a direction on the issue of Srinivasan being the Indian representative at the ICC board. The Supreme Court has so far held that Srinivasan cannot come back as BCCI president until the completion of an investigation into the alleged betting and spot fixing scandals in the IPL. There could be more trouble in store for N. Srinivasan as the Cricket Association of Bihar is trying to bar him from representing India at the ICC. The ICC, on the other hand, has said that it is an internal matter of the BCCI and is also looking at the Supreme Court for direction on the question of N. Srinivas representing India in the ICC board meetings. The Supreme Court has so far held that Srinivasan cannot come back as BCCI president until the completion of an investigation into the alleged betting and spot fixing scandals in the IPL. Well, for more on this, let us go across to my colleague Nolan, who joins us with the latest updates. Nolan, over to you.
Well, in fact, Varghese, the two-judge Supreme Court benches of Justice A.K. Patnaik and FMI Khalifullah will resume the hearing of the high-profile IPL betting and fixing case today. Now, why is it important? It's because of this. Now, the information that I'm getting is that the bench had rejected the three-member committee that the BCCI had come out with. Now, the bench stated that there is a lot of conflict of interest over there. Now, we must all remember that the BCCI had suggested three people for the three-member committee: former CBI Director R.K. Raghavan, former cricketer Ravi Shastri, and former Calcutta High Court Justice J. Narayan Patel to probe the entire matter, the allegations of fixing specific instances, in fact, and illegal betting during IPL. But the court rejected this. The two-bench Supreme Court justice basically rejected it because of conflict of interest. And what they state is because of this. They said that while Shastri is on BCCI payrolls, Patel is the brother-in-law of interim board president for non-IPL FS Shivlal Yadav, and Raghavan is honorary member secretary of the Kamyuth Cricket Club. Now, this is the issue, so they have rejected it. The court also asked the Justice Mudgal committee, basically Justice Mudgal, if he is ready to take on this entire investigation, and he has agreed. In fact, the three-member panel that is comprising of Justice Mudgal, Additional Solicitor General L. Nageshwara Rao, and Nilay Datta, they have agreed to continue to explore the murky matter deeper. Now, the biggest question is, today, what sort of powers will they be given? Because it is expected that the Mudgal committee will take over the investigations when the court again meets next. That is on the 29th, that is today, I beg your pardon. Now, furthermore, we are also told that the committee will be assisted by a team of investigators, and the bench had also stated that it will empower the Justice Mudgal committee with all police powers. So basically, whatever they want to do now in order to try and get deep into this, they will be able to do so. So it's very interesting. Apart from that, attention will also be on whether the sealed envelope, now everyone's talking about that because the Supreme Court has been very careful in not to talk about it and has kept it very closed. Now, whether the sealed envelope will actually, the contents will be known. Now, the envelope, it is speculated, Varghese, that it contains the names of team owners of 5 of the 8 IPL franchisees, besides some current Indian players, possibly including India and CSK skipper Mahendra Singh Dhoni and his trusted lieutenant Suresh Raina.
Nolan, the Supreme Court had in fact first tried to ask the BCCI themselves to conduct an inquiry, but later it seems that it has lost faith in the BCCI, and that's why it's now asking Mudgal to go ahead with it.
Very true, but if I take you back to history, because in 1997, now the board appointed former Chief Justice of India, Y.V. Chandrachud, to investigate claims of match fixing. Now, it is stated that the Chief Justice, this is what it's alleged, was more interested in collecting autographs than uncovering the truth. So that was one beautiful chance lost. Then again, 3 years later, in the match fixing scandal, rock cricket, and cost India its captain, but again the board refused to register a case against any of the players, and basically it was just removed over there. Then we are told that even the CBI stated in its report that the BCCI officials knew about this but decided not to take any sort of action. Now, furthermore, we are also told that now, with the change of guard, with N. Srinivasan coming in over there, it's the same thing, like history repeating itself once more. He's not ready to take any action. So, hence, the Supreme Court has now decided, with Justice Mudgal actually coming out with all the details. He started his inquiry somewhere in October, and in February he submitted his detailed reports. Now, considering the fact that he's done all this, the Supreme Court wants to get to the bottom of this problem, and hence they've actually asked him to take over. His committee is accepted. Today we are told that the Supreme Court will now empower his committee with police powers to get, in fact, to get into the murky world of IPL betting.
Well, Nolan, it's interesting that you mentioned police powers. How would this, in fact, help Mudgal to go ahead with the investigations? Because the previous report did not have this kind of a mandate. So wouldn't people have been criticizing that the Supreme Court might be overstepping its jurisdiction because the BCCI is an autonomous body?
No, the BCCI might be an autonomous body, Varghese, but the point is, Justice Mudgal committee earlier did not have police powers as such. They went about with their work as any normal committee. It was a judicial committee. They went about their work. But now, considering the fact that the Supreme Court did give a chance to the BCCI to try and clean out the rut that has seeped in within itself, but the BCCI is on and on and on, tried to sort of go away from doing this. So they've decided finally, since the Justice Mudgal has come out with substantial evidence about what's happened over there, the Supreme Court actually wants now, like I stated, wants them to get deeper into this, try and figure out what is ailing Indian cricket, what is the rut that has set up within the BCCI and also Indian cricket, both domestic as well as international. So that's the reason we're told that he will be empowered with all the powers necessary in order to go about with this. Now, we were talking earlier and you stated how the problems that the Justice Mudgal committee had to suffer right from October, from the time he started this work till the month of February this year, when he submitted his details, by actually requesting the BCCI, requesting them to come out with information for him. We're told from our sources that he actually had to wait for 3 hours at times just to get one single paper or one single document. Now, if the Supreme Court empowers them with police powers, things change. Everything changes. Now, it's no more about him sitting and waiting over there. When he wants it, he will get it. That is what the Supreme Court has done that. And again, we must remember, it's not just Justice Mudgal over there. It's a 3-member committee there. You have Justice Mudgal, Additional Solicitor General, Nageshwara Rao, and Nilay Datta. But again, apart from that, Varghese, the biggest issue today also would be the ICC. Now, Srinivasan had attended a meeting on the 9th and 10th of April, the ICC meeting that was held in Dubai. Now, we are told that the Cricket Association of Bihar, their advocate or their counsel, Nalini Chidambaram, has stated that they have prayed to the Supreme Court that they take certain action over here that will stop N. Srinivasan from actually going ahead with what he wants to do. That is to be the chairman of the ICC in the month of July, or take over that post. Now, they have asked that. This is what she stated very clearly. She says that a man who is not fit to be a High Court judge, but he wants to be a Supreme Court judge. Now, this is what she had tried to speak about or talk about N. Srinivasan. Now, furthermore, even the ICC members have actually raised this point, and there are certain rules and regulations that the ICC also follows. And, well, we just have to wait and see now what happens in today's meeting.
Well, thank you, Nolan, for joining us with all those updates. Well, N. Srinivasan, who has ambitions in the ICC, might be stopped because of the IPL betting or fixing scandal that has taken place in the IPL league, and also with the Supreme Court asking Mudgal to, in fact, probe further into the matter, and also giving police powers to this particular committee to get to the bottom of this scandal.